Well, this video was a bit of a nightmare to produce. Pro tip, don't switch operating systems mid-project. No, Marcus, we already did that one. Try again. Well, I thought this might become an issue eventually. That's more like it. I've been looking forward to this one. So not very, then? Like I said earlier, I switched to my OS when this video was almost finished. But since the free version of Distinctly Revolve on Linux doesn't support any default codecs, I have to re-edit all this footage on completely new software. No guns in this first chest, but that's okay since we get a guaranteed pistol very soon. That does mean we have to melee these starting enemies, but unfortunately I'm used to that. But right in this chest is our first pistol, so it wasn't too bad at all. This chest always has a Hyperion pistol in it, and I think it has fixed parts, but don't quote me on that. Using this lovely pistol made Firestone a breeze to deal with. It's always nice to not have to melee all these guys. Shields were harder to come by, but not as bad as some other brands in some other games. Ahem, doll, ahem. And I've already got a unique right here, the Ladyfinger. There's a reason I was looking forward to this run. You get a lot of uniques from various missions. The Ladyfinger is just the tip of the easily attainable uniques iceberg. That makes it sound like there's dozens of them. There's like 3. 4 tops. You can get a shield pretty early too, but unfortunately I'm poor, so I can't get one. Not that it mattered too much since Ladyfinger was able to make pretty quick work of Nine Toes. We won't mention Pinky or Digit. The Ladyfinger wasn't quite good enough to kill Bonehead early, so I went and did the Baja side missions, as usual. While I was doing that, I did find a shield. Hyperion shields are pretty boring, just fire resistance, kinda lame. Anyway, with just a little help from a level up bonus, Bonehead dies very, very quickly. And I was on my way to farm from level 10 to 15, which was pretty annoying since the Crabworm's crit hitbox is so enigmatic. I did learn that they can't hit you so easy if you hide behind the vendors, so that's a little pro tip to take home with you. Whilst farming those wacky worms for XP, I also farmed these 2 chests for guns. Remember what I said about the crit spots being enigmatic? Anyway, I got to level 15 easily enough. I did the claptrap after that and got to 16 by accident. Oopsies. Not that it made a huge difference. The beginning of BL1 scales up very quickly. But the safe house was no biggie, even got a nice new pistol. And the Roid Rage Psycho wasn't hard at all. Not that he ever really is. It's just a lot of running around. I did find a grenade. Hyperion makes longbows in this game, and let me tell you, I hate them. Not a big fan at all. Their delay is like a second and a half, which is just far too long. They can't be zero fuse like later games. Trash. I mostly ended up using a fire one just for the dot. My damage wasn't super good going into Sledge, so I was a little worried. Luckily though, Sledge was mostly fine. I only died once and it only took me about 2 minutes 12 seconds to kill him. Things are easy from here on out. This SMG was amazing, by the way. It's the same one I found while I was farming the worms, and it's been a powerhouse for a long time. But that time is about to come to an end because I need to farm more XP and farm the 3 chests at Lucky's for more guns. I farmed to level 22, or 23, depends how I'm feeling. Skipping straight ahead to the next gun we can get, the Spy from the King Tossing mission. I didn't know this till later on, but in the old version of BL1, which I'm playing here, King Weeby does not respawn. That means I can only get 2 Spies, and neither of them can be max level since side missions don't scale up in playthrough 2.5. Which sucks because it's basically the bitch, but slightly worse, but easier to get. But spoiler alert, I never got a bitch, so it would have been nice to have easy access to this at max level. I didn't know this at the time, but I also had access to the Sentinel here, but that doesn't matter too much. I'll explain. Access to the Sentinel coincides with the gun farm I like to do, the chest outside Tannis' little hut. And spoiler alert too, it's not a great gun, so it'd be easily replaced by a gun I find from this chest farm. Probably. I do find a shotgun, and a combat rifle. A really good shotgun and combat rifle, mind you. Anyway, since I can't get a max level Spy, I might as well talk about it now. It's okay. Like I said, worse bitch, but still okay. Right, back to the Sentinel. I did grab it after Earl, and, as I predicted, it's really just a combat rifle. But like, kinda shitty. It has more damage on the card, but with nearly half the fire rate, that's nearly half the DPS, and the teeny boost it has for reload speed isn't worth anything. Anyway, there's no more mission reward weapons in this playthrough, so we just have to beat the game now. Which would be made much easier without this asshole killing me like a dozen times with this freaking hellfire he had. I'm sure that's the last time that'll happen. In any case, the rest of playthrough 1 was a jaunt frolic through a meadow of daisies in comparison to that fucker with the hellfire. I farmed Rakai to level 32, and I leveled up to level 35 naturally by the time I get to the Destroyer. Hans and Franz, more like easy and peasy.
Another one bites the dust.
Oh, and Flint was there too, I guess. What on earth was the intended way to fight this nerd? Master McLeod was yet another fight, made significantly easier thanks to a timely level up bonus. The shock dot didn't hurt either. And no, I don't feel bad that the level up bonus made this fight easier. I farm up some guns from these two chests in Crimson Fastness. Found a lovely corrosive shotgun during that. Got to level 35 in Iridian Promontory, as planned. Then I ran past everything to fight the Destroyer. A fight that lasted around 2 minutes 9 seconds. Well, that sure was fun. A lot more fun than other allegiances have been. Not more fun than Tediore, though. Time to do it again. As always, I didn't record playthrough 2 because it's the same as playthrough 1, except the Destroyer took 11 minutes to kill this time. And then I farmed to level 69. I use Rackhive because I like having control over my proficiency level. You should use the Guardians in Iridian Promontory because that's significantly faster. Now we actually have a lot of uniques to farm for, and none of them have drop sources that make sense. Starting with the Ladyfinger you get from Mo, of Mo and Marley fame. Why is that the drop source? Fuck if I know. I'm just glad I have some nice corrosive guns to make this kill way easier. For every gun I can farm, I'm gonna grab just 2 of them and take the better one. I don't have time to farm god rolls. The next nonsensical drop source is Rakinishu, who drops the Sentinel. Again, why? Don't ask me. Something I should note is either I got very lucky or the drop chance isn't actually 10%. Another thing I should mention is it apparently has fixed parts, so the only thing you'd be farming it for is its level. Nice. I used it a bit and it's pretty underwhelming. But it looks sick. Red and black is an awesome color combo. I killed Rakinishu 3 times and 2 of those 3 kills gave me a Sentinel, so I'm not sure about that 10% drop chance. But again, I could have just gotten lucky. I'll tell you what was lucky, finding this corrosive shotgun made just about all the mobbing and Claptrap DLC really easy. Ladyfinger jump scare. I'm going to review it here because I forget to use it after this. That's for a good reason though. I was quite underwhelmed by it. My roll wasn't the best, but regardless, I just don't think the crit bonus is enough to make up for how mid it is. All the crit bonus does is bring it up to par with other, better non-uniques. And with my roll, it barely even achieves that, unfortunately. I don't even like repeaters to begin with. Maybe that's not the worst thing since it's attained so easily and so early, but it was a pain to get at max level 1, so I'd have liked it to be a little better. Another thing I'd like to talk about while I have the chance is rocket launchers. This is the first run where I actually used one, and I really like them, but they definitely feel inconsistent. Even when they are doing good damage, I'm not totally convinced it's enough damage to make up for the small ammo pool. I'd have to use them more to figure that out. I'm skipping over Nox here. It wasn't super interesting in this DLC, so we'll talk about him later. Ned is a different story. He was a bit more annoying than usual, had a gun that would just wreck my shit if I wasn't careful. It was honestly a nice change of pace to have to actually, use my brain and stuff. But what on earth could be making Ned so annoying this run? Oh yeah, that'll do it. Second time that's happened. I bet if Steel could have a gun, she would have had a Hellfire too, but luckily she can't, and also luckily she's kinda wimpy if you have literally any dot. Acid makes this DLC so much easier, generally speaking. I accidentally didn't record the Undead Ned Trap fight, but look at what I found in this chest. Spoiler alert 3, I love this gun. Minak wasn't too big of an issue. I think I died once and the whole fight was 5 minutes. I've had this fight last 5 times longer, so that's pretty alright. Now it's time for me to farm up a load of legendaries from the gift shop. Load being inventory full, which is always 45. After that I did Nox DLC, which I'm skipping entirely because it's scaled to 51 until you beat it. But I do get to use Athena's Wisdom, which is a better Ladyfinger. Use that BL3 at DLC Power Creep. Spoiler alert 4, all the games have DLC Power Creep. Speaking of power, this SMG is really nice. Not a bitch, as I mentioned earlier, the bitch eluded me this run, but it's still a lovely SMG. Even this objectively better version of the Ladyfinger isn't super great, by the way. Would be awesome on Morty, but that's a video for another time. Mentioned that SMG a second ago, and SMGs in general were really good at this run. What shocked me though was how good Hyperion's shotguns are. After SNS disappointed me with the same type of shotgun, I expected these to suck, but I ended up really liking them. But something I was disappointed by after thoroughly enjoying combat rifles from Dahl and especially Tediore is how underwhelming the ones I got from Hyperion were. Not terrible, mind you, they definitely killed enemies I shot them with, but I was consistently fighting rifles from the 2 aforementioned brands with 100 more damage on the card easily. Maybe I was just unlucky, but with all the farming I did, I should have found something. None of that applies to the Destroyer though. I love this thing a lot. If you couldn't tell, it burst fires its entire magazine when you're aiming down the sights. That's very funny. Hey, don't it weird that in this game Hyperion has lots of guns with the burst firing as a core unique mechanic, but then in the next game it's Dahl that gets all the burst fires? I think that weirds. A gun that doesn't burst fire is this machine pistol I've been comparing every repeater against. It's just some random thing I found a while ago, and it's great. Except when you ADS, because then you can't see shit. But other than that, it's great. Anyway, Nox was annoying as shit this run, and I'm not sure why. Probably because I couldn't kill these Devastators fast enough, because both times I died was because of them. Yeah, I died twice, and the whole fight took 11 minutes, including respawn times. But once I got him on his own, it was super easy to stunlock him with a sniper rifle. Which I haven't talked about, like, at all. Anyway, I did 3 loads of legendaries from the armory, and now it's time to talk about all the shit I forgot to mention up to this point. Starting with the Invader. Since it's fully automatic to start with, having the burst fire while aiming doesn't really add much to its playstyle. I guess instead of holding the shoot button till the enemy you're aiming at is dead, you only have to tap it once, but that's really not much of a change. Since the Destroyer still has a 3-round burst while hip-firing, it makes the full mag burst while aiming actually feel like an addition to the gun that has a different use than hip-firing has. The Nidhogg was fantastic though, works very well as a regular rocket launcher, and also has a really cool sweet spot mechanic. After a set distance, it explodes and rains 6 rockets at the ground, but it also does enough damage that you don't have to sweet spot with it. I didn't really use sniper rifles much because of aim punch, or flinching as I'll call it from now on, but since Hyperion has such good weapon variety with lots of stuff that can fill the same long range slot, I wasn't missing sniper rifles much at all. I did use them a bit here and there, and they're pretty normal. I didn't use them enough to notice if they were more accurate as a whole, but this one was very nice and super accurate. But hard to justify using when I have so many other good options within this one brand. To prove my point, the Destroyer operating quite well at decently long range. Less ammo efficient, but Roland doesn't do ammo efficiency super well in the first place. The Butcher. This one was another surprise. I expected it to be really bad, but since the accuracy doesn't decrease until after the burst, it's pretty fun. Again, terrible ammo efficiency, it really eats that shit right up, but it's still fun. The Invader Sniper is also inefficient, but it is not fun. Not only is the flinching fighting you, but now when you miss your shots, which you'll do often, you'll waste 5 ammo instead of just 1 in an already smaller ammo pool, which doesn't have much of an impact in regular gameplay with all the weighted ammo drops, but it's unsatisfying to me, which adds more fuel to my hatred of this dogshit of a pissfuck gun. Well, that's Hyperion. Mostly really good guns with some boring stinkers thrown in for texture. Most of the guns felt basically the same as S&S or Tediore, but with 200% more red. Okay, that's it, that's the end. Thanks for watching, bye bye, love you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Second time that's happened. I bet if Steel could have a gun, she would have had a Hellfire too, but luckily she can't, and also luckily she's kinda wimpy if you have literally any dot.